Thanks a lot, Arif. Appreciate it. And don't forget, you guys will be doing yoga as well. So, just a reminder: make sure you have your sports clothes ready, your yoga mats ready as well, and also do keep your cameras on later.
Hi, Jaden. Can you see us?
Yep, we can see you guys clearly.
Right. Okay.
I can hear you guys loud and clear too.
Okay. So, how's the brightness at the back? Is it
Yep, all okay, all good.
okay? Thank you.
In 3 more minutes, we'll be starting.
Okay. Sure.
Right. All right. Thank you, thank you to our beloved participants for joining us here today. You guys can call me Jaden, and me and Tantia will be your co-host. Yeah, we will be your co-host for today. Here at the Breath and Bend webinar, we aim to bring yoga to a wider audience. And to that end, I'm pleased to welcome our wonderful yoga coaches, Ms. Norakmal Ashikin and Mr. Tanasilan. You guys could just give a wave for our audience, please. Just introduce yourselves. Yes, thank you.
Hello, I am Shikin. I'm from Sakti School of Yoga. We are both certified from Sakti School of Yoga. So we are here today to share with you guys really anything that you need to know about yoga based on our limited knowledge and experience. I have with me Seelan.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having us today. As what Ashikin said, we are both from Sakti School of Yoga. We are Hatha and Ashtanga practitioner as well as teachers. And we'll be sharing more or less of whatever that we know about yoga based on our experience. And if you have any questions or you want to discuss further, then you can just bring it up while we are presenting. Yeah,
All
thank you.
right. Thank you guys so much for your introduction. So just to break it down for you guys, for our first session, we will be having our coaches will be speaking about the benefits of about the basic info that a complete beginner like me and I assume most of you should know about yoga, such as its history, its health benefits. Also a bit about how our coaches themselves got into yoga and how it impacted their lives for the better. And for our second session, we will be having a physical yoga class that should last about half an hour, where our coaches will be taking you guys through some basic yoga poses. You guys no need to be shy. There'll be no judgment here. So, as I've reminded you guys before, do make sure you're wearing sports clothes and get your yoga mats ready, and do keep your webcams on for the session, for both the first and the second session. All right, with that, the Breath and Bend webinar has officially begun. Ms. Norma Shikin, Mr. Tanasilin, I pass the floor to you guys. Take it away.
Okay, thank you. Let us share the screen.
Right.
Can you see the screen now, our slides?
Yep, you can see it.
Okay. All right, so as the title goes, Breath and Band, we will be sharing all about yoga, as I've mentioned. Let's go straight into it. So basically, this is what we will be sharing today. I will start with what is yoga, the definition of yoga, and then still will be speaking about the history of yoga, and we will be sharing about types of yoga as well. Before we go into our sharing of our own journey and experience with yoga, and we'll take it further into the practice of yoga and the physical practice of yoga, where we will demonstrate a few simple sequence. We will share Hatha Surya Namaskar sequence and a few asanas that we think will be beneficial for a student, physical and mental well-being generally. Celine will then take over to demonstrate pranayama, which is one of the breathing technique, a simple breathing technique. Yeah, then that's it for today. We will now go into what is yoga. Can I start this with some interaction of what is your understanding when anyone mentions yoga? Can anyone share what do you understand about yoga? What do you think yoga is? Can we have some interaction here first?
All right, so to the audience, I'm sure you guys heard that. So if you guys are shy, you can just drop your answers in the chat box. But it'd be preferable if you guys could turn on your mics and tell us your answer. Right.
How do we go there? Can we see them?
Nothing while sharing.
So sure.
Going once, going twice. All right. I think since our audience may be a bit shy, I'll go first. So, what do I think about yoga? Or what I think the definition of yoga is. So, yoga to me, it's an art that's originates from India. What I think it is it's an art that involves the person doing poses that engage the body, and it's also a form. It's a workout that calms your mind and also makes you sweat without actually make you do any vigorous activity like other sports like basketball, lifting weights at the gym, etc. And I think it's a good art, but I do not know much about it. That's as far as I know.
Thank you, Jaden. Anyone else?
Come on, guys. Don't be shy.
You can type in as well if you're shy. A spiritual discipline. So Shamil Azran said a spiritual discipline that relaxes your mental and physical being. Do we have anything else? Okay.
Good try, Shamil.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for
Thank
sharing.
you. Thank you. Yeah. So what is yoga? Yoga is a word. Sorry. It's an ancient discipline designed to bring balance and health to physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual dimensions of the individual. What you guys have shared is also basically it. That's nothing wrong with it. But if we look into the Sanskrit definition of the word yoga, so the actual root word is it means huge in Sanskrit, and huge means union. But union of what? So some say it can be a union or a connection of self and other beings, and other beings mean other creations on this earth, right? So it can be with other human beings and animals and plants like that. It can also be as a union between self and the divinity, which is it can be any divine power interpreted based on anyone's beliefs or your religious or cultural beliefs, like whatever your divine is. So it brings that bridge between us and that. And the more popular opinion is the connection between mind, body, and soul. This is the very common and popular belief of what yoga is, and these are all correct.
Now, I'll take it up from here. So, yes, thank you, Ashkin, for that. So, yeah, besides those understanding, let us look into the idea of yoga by itself and the origin of it. It is said that yoga originated from the ancient India, which is dated thousands of years ago. But a proper scriptural finding that we can look into to refer and see if there's any trace to say is from there is about 5,000 years ago. On the scriptures like Yoga Sutras, Hatha Yoga Pradipika, and so on. Though the yoga has been passed down for generations way before that, they just wrote these things down in scriptures about 5,000 years ago. And it is our luck that we are still able to refer to these scriptures or these findings till this day. And it is said the first person who actually wrote things down formally as a scripture was the sage Maharishi Patanjali. By mythology and all that, some claim this person to be a god, some claim this person to be a sage, and so on. But one good thing that we have, as I said, is the scriptures that has been interpreted, yet it is still giving us the essence of what is yoga and how to practice yoga as a tool to lead a better life, right? But now the question comes, how about whatever that we are seeing currently in the modern world? So any part of the world that you see yoga at the moment comes from this one man by the name Sri Tirumala Krishnamacharya. He is also known as father of modern yoga. So this person lived from 1888 until 1989. So this is Tirumala Krishnamacharya. This person has propagated the idea of yoga in the best possible way to cater for the world, the modern world that we are living in. And all his disciples, I'll give you another picture of this person. This is a picture of some of his disciples, and some of the profound names in yoga in Western world itself, like B.K. Iyengar, Pattabhi Jois, they are all his disciples, and they came from this particular lineage. Forward.
Thank you, Selen. That's very informative. So again, when we talk about yoga, the question that comes to our minds always is it just bending and twisting? Because that is what you commonly see of yoga. So the answer is the bending and twisting is the asanas, but no, it's not just bending and twisting, but it is one of the major elements of yoga, because what we commonly see is the physical poses of yoga, the physical postures of yoga, which is the asanas. And the asanas is only one of the 8 limbs of yoga. So yoga is very much a lifestyle. So it has all these limbs that we will not go into further details today. We will concentrate on the asana, which is the 3rd limb of yoga out of these 8 limbs. And how do we, let's discover more about the asanas, which is the physical postures of yoga. So the first question that will always come to your mind when, like about practicing yoga is, where do I start? What types of yoga? There's just so many types. So again, the asanas being the physical form of yoga, it really comes from a really huge umbrella called which is basically the foundation of physical exercise of yoga, which is called hatha yoga. And hatha means basically a physical exertion of the body. So under hatha yoga, there's thousands of asanas, 1,000 types of asanas. So under this umbrella, right, there is subsets, and there's a lot of traditional variation or offshoots of hatha yoga, which can be ashtanga yoga, kundalini yoga, and so many others. So we both are ashtanga practitioners. So what we practice is ashtanga, but we teach hatha because hatha has so many variations. So basically, it's under one single umbrella. And then what you see if you go to gyms and classes and like whatever you search online is actually a lot of commercialized variations of that would have rooted from this hatha yoga, but we from our understanding we may not be able to traditionally categorize it under hatha yoga itself. But we can say that it's a commercialized variations of hatha yoga. So it can be, hot yoga, aerial yoga, dynamic yoga,
Pilates and all that. Yeah.
Pilates, so it's very, very much similar to hatha yoga, but because a teacher can form classes or a dynamic or sequences, and they can be very creative with it, but really the very foundation of all these physical postures would root from hatha yoga, like that. So yeah, there's many types, and where do we go now?
Let's ask them and see if they have any questions so far.
Yeah. I mean, we would like to know if you would like to know further about types of yoga. What should I practice? Where do I start?
Yes, to our participants, if you guys have any questions, now be the time or at any other time during the event. But please, we would like some interaction from you guys. Going once. No. All right. I guess you guys can just move on to the next slide.
Okay.
All right. Where are you going?
Yeah. So many slides.
Sorry, these are my emails. Gosh.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, we'll move to the next one. Okay, now coming back to what Ashikin mentioned just now, there's a lot of variations of yoga by itself, right? But besides yoga, when you say physical health, there are a lot of things that you can do, like exercises, workouts. Even workouts, there are like variations, like you go to gym or you do calisthenics, things like that. There are other sports that you can try. So why is yoga important? Why do one have to look into yoga to practice their physical health and so on? Do you have any opinions on this? Just 5 seconds. If there's anything, you can just voice out or put it up, and then I'll go further with this. I would love to hear your opinion. Why do you think yoga is important?
Because it's changed the lifestyle.
Great, that is a very good way of putting it. Yeah, I would agree to that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So Let me start off with a quote from B.K. Iyengar. B.K. Iyengar is one of the gurus who's also a disciple of Tirumala Srinivacharya, the man that I mentioned just now. So he says yoga does not just change the way we see things, it transforms the person who sees it, right? How do we contextualize this in a person's daily life, right? Think about it this way. When you pick up yoga, as we said, that asana is one of the main limbs, which is the physical practice where you bend, you twist, you stretch and all that. The moment you start working on your strength, your flexibility, moving your body, sweating and all that, scientifically, your body or biologically, the body is already like, having better circulation, better oxygenation, things like that. Other than that, when you build strength and all that, you'll have more confidence on yourself. You know that you can carry yourself anytime you would like to do something. Besides building this, it will also affect the way we think, right? When you boost your motivation by, I know that I can bend this way. I know I can actually move my body. I can carry myself. Now, other than that, in yoga, we will also think about eating the proper diet, choosing what to put into this body, because you're already working in this body, just like you work out in gyms, right? There will be like, food that you can take, you can't take when you're bulking, when you're cutting, things like that. Similar in yoga, for a practitioner to feel light, for a practitioner to feel that the body is in the best shape possible, you will actually consider on what you put into your body, because you treat this body as the only thing that matters to you as to lead a good life, right? So from that, there's also a quote that we might have heard before: you are what you eat, they say. So whatever that you put into your body, besides those food building your cells, your muscles and the bones and tendons and all that, it is also going to affect the way you think or you process things around you. Your emotional well-being will also be affected with the food that you consume. There's a lot of scientific research that proves this. Probably I might not be able to share it today, but if you have any questions, you can reach out to me at any time. Other than that, when you have a good state of mind, right, you'll have much more healthier thoughts on things that you take in, as well as things that you put out. What you think about people around you, about circumstances, about whatever that is happening in your daily life, and things like that. And with the healthier thoughts.
Hi, excuse me.
Yeah.
The slide on screen hasn't changed yet. It's still the same. It's still on the first slide.
First slide?
First slide?
Yeah, you're still on the first slide. Sorry.
What does it say?
What does it say in the first slide?
It says what is yoga?
Yeah, I'm still there. Can you see on the...
Okay. Okay, sorry. I thought you changed another slide.
Why is yoga important now?
Is it? Why is yoga important at the moment?
No, it's what is yoga? The definition
what is yoga?
of it.
On here, I'll stop sharing and share again. Okay. Is my screen...
Yes. Soon, if you could share these slides.
Okay, can you see the screen now?
Oh wait, hold on. Okay, yes, it's all good. All right. Okay.
So I think
I'll
I'll just
continue.
go back
All right.
from here, from the proper diet. We went to healthier thoughts.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, with the healthier thought, which is what you put in, what you put out, it will also reflect on the actions that you take on your daily life. Conscious decision making. The moment you process something, for example, you are stuck in a traffic and you're stressed about it, right? You can also tell yourself, regardless of you being stressed up or getting angry with the traffic or the situation that you're in, you can tell yourself, regardless of you being angry or not, you're still going to be in the traffic. Why don't you just calm yourself down and decide on having a good journey back home, a safe journey back home. That thought that you carry will also reflect in the way you decide on how to drive, how to show your anger. If you think that you are getting angry, you should calm yourself down by probably breathing properly and things like that. So it goes from the physical to your diet, to your thoughts, to your action.
Hi. So I'd like to ask. So basically, what you're saying here is that yoga, it makes you see the world in a more positive way. Am I right in saying that?
Yes. Positive is a good choice of word, but I would say it will give you different perspectives to look into things.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't have to be good or bad. It can just be how we can look at it in a different way. It will give you a better insight. Yeah.
Like I would just like to add, I think practicing yoga by itself, it promotes awareness. So you become more aware of your thoughts. When you are more aware of your thoughts and your emotions, then you can choose a better reaction to scenarios and circumstances that you are facing on a daily basis. So really just, just having that awareness and having that pause before you make any kind of conclusion, a mental conclusion, or before you move your limbs to a certain reaction. Yoga promotes that awareness just being in a state of constant awareness, I would say. Yeah.
Right. I think we will also
Thanks
be
for the
able to.
answer.
Yeah, we'll also be able to share this later when we are doing the physical practice, because in the practice of yoga, it is believed that whatever that you do on the mat, if you understand what you're doing, you can actually reflect the same thing on your daily life. For example, if you decide on the day that you don't have the motivation to do something, yet you get onto the mat and do your practice, if you can actually move your body to get into that state when you're not in the mood for it, you would be able to do the same thing. Like if you want to go to work, if you want to go meet somebody, you have to do things that you must do, but your mind is not in that state. You can actually reflect the same emotions or thought process that you had before you got onto the mat. So this is just a simple example. But yeah, I think that covers the idea of like having different perspectives and a pause to be aware on what to do. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes?
In your perspective, in your opinion, what is the difference between the exercise and the yoga? The fitness exercise and the yoga? It's like different or it's like same or
Okay.
like
Right. As we said earlier, the word yoga means it's union, right? So if you ask what is the difference between other sports, I would say the main thing would be the awareness that you bring to your breath and your movements, and you try to sync these both things. But these days, sports science is also focusing on the same things to enhance the performance of athletes. They are focusing on how to sync the breathing with their movements, and that will actually enhance the performance. At the same time, you are bringing a lot of focus on what you're doing, on how to do it better. So rather than saying the difference, I would say the main part in yoga would be uh, being aware of your breath with whatever that you're doing. That is the main thing. And now that thing can be applied in anything, even if you're cooking at home right now. If you're being aware on what you're doing, I think you're already in the state of yoga, right? Yoga is not just the asana, it is just the whole thing that you apply as a person in your daily life. So that would be my opinion here. Yeah. Ashkin, anything?
I would just like to add, like when we are going to perform an asana even. So asana is just a physical posture, but even the steps of performing that physical posture, in order for us to come to the complete asana, which is, the perfect pose, it would require you to have focus. It's three things. The asana and then drishti, what is it?
And then breath.
The breath. So there's three things that's required, in order for you to really perform that complete pose. So this very practice itself would train your mind and your body, of course, to learn to have focus and awareness. And this would have the whole, body and mind connection kind of thing, which may not necessarily exist in other forms of sports. It's not fair to speak on behalf of other forms of fitness, but that's what we generally know, and we speak about yoga specifically.
Yeah, if I like to add, in other sports that I've tried, it often gets to a point where like when you're so tired, your mind just goes to another place. Am I right? Yeah, so like you basically like when you're so tired, your mind just can't physically focus, and you're basically just going through the motions at that point. But with yoga, your mind has to be engaged at all times. Am I right? Yeah.
The practice is teaching you on how to stay like aware and focused on what you're doing, bringing the awareness to each and everything that you do. So I would say it is like a stepping stone for you to apply this on anything that you do. So this is where yoga comes in to train you towards this. And what we are speaking now is based on the asanas alone. As what Ashikin shared just now, there's actually 8 limbs in yoga. And what we are looking into now is just the physical part of it. Just to touch briefly on that, within that 8 limbs of yoga, the main 2 limbs, the first 2 limbs would be moral values that a person carries. It is said that without the right moral values as the foundation of a man, then whatever that you do might not be the right thing. So the yamas and niyamas, these are the first 2 limbs. Then comes the asana, the physical practice, and then there's other limbs after that. So all this is like, I would say it's like a complete package of tools for a person to lead a good life. So I wouldn't look at yoga as a comparison to a physical practice as like exercises or any other sports, because I would say that this is on a different note altogether. Yeah. Right. Did we answer your questions? Yes,
Does anyone
is it
here
clear?
has a...
Actually, it's clear for me.
Thank you.
Aiden, for you?
Yep, all clear.
Okay.
Do any of the other participants have any questions?
Yeah, you can even type it out
Yeah.
in the chat box.
Yeah.
We will pick it up from there.
Oh yeah, and just to add, if as we go on throughout the session and you guys want to ask about something they said early in the session, you may feel free to do so. All right.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
All right. Sure. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So going once,
We will
going twice.
with the
All right.
slides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Move on.
Okay, can you see my slides changing?
Is this video showing
Yep.
already?
Yep. All good.
Yeah,
Okay.
can see
I
that.
think, yeah, okay, now what we will get into is we will just go into the sharing from our end on like how we started and what is our journey like. Probably it might be similar to some of you, and probably might even give ideas to some of you on how to look into this practice or on how to start. So I think we'll go with Ashikin first on her personal sharing about her journey.
Yeah, let me see their faces.
Okay.
All right. Okay. How do I begin? Okay. So if we speak about like my very, very, very first experience, it is way back. I don't know, 7, 8 years ago. That was like literally my very first downward dog, my very first everything. It was, like when I was single, we were just looking out for activities to do during the weekend. And it just so happened there's this whole mega yoga day. It must have been in one of those, international yoga day kind of thing. But then back then I didn't know anything about yoga. So doing the movement, I could literally feel something in my body. It's like a blood circulation kind of thing. I'm not sure what it was. It could just be like doing it under the sun or something. But yeah, I felt some like blood flow in my body, and I got really intrigued. So yeah, after that, I started scouting for yoga studios and gyms and yoga classes. So I was just like everywhere with yoga, which is not what I would recommend if you really want to learn deeper about yoga and into yoga. So I was just going from studios to studio, trying out different classes. But what I didn't have, I did have practice, like a handful years of practice, but what I didn't have from that kind of experience is mastery. So I knew nothing about Surya Namaskar, and I couldn't exactly do my home practice on my own, which is exactly the reason why I wouldn't recommend doing it that way now that I know better. So but like in each yoga class there must be, or there must have some form of Surya Namaskar, because it's basically our warm-up sequence, right, before any class, before any yoga class, really. So that's how I got into yoga. So I was going for gyms only to go to yoga classes, because like I just wanted to do more. Like I just want to do yoga. I just want to learn more. But I failed to gain mastery because I did not do, with a specific teacher continuously. So I was just learning a lot of variety. So so I would say that no one actually preached yoga to me. It kind of like yoga called out to me. There was always something calling me back on the mat, whether it be in a yoga studio or in a gym class. So along the years, I was dealing with really difficult circumstance in my life. Like it was really some few miserable years of my life. But I found out that like there's just something about the practice of yoga and just being on the mat that really kind of connected me to myself, connected me to something beyond myself. Like spiritually speaking, I have never felt more connected to anything else. I have ever done or practiced in my whole entire life than being on the mat. And that's when I knew, like I formed a connection with yoga. And this happened way before I took up my teacher's training course, before I even knew anything about Surya Namaskar movement. I just, like I was going classes and was just trying to replicate whatever I learned, whatever little I knew and learned in classes on my own at home. And so it brought about a kind of connection to me, which has now, I would say, almost became sacred to me. So I was going through, like that miserable years of my life, and I needed to find solution. I needed to find answers to what I was dealing with, because it was really something new. It was really something challenging to me. I felt like I almost lost myself. So it was on the mat that I found calm to the chaos. It was, it was in downward dog that I really thank my heart, like really connect to something beyond myself. That's what I felt. Like I felt that, like every time I got on the mat. So every time I surrendered in Balasana, that's just when I feel like, like someone's listening to me. So it was more of a emotional and almost spiritual experience to me. And yeah, so through the years, I had to go through a few surgeries, and like it was on and off to me. So I would say that I was consistent, but consistency really is subjective based to whatever phase that you were in. So I had to do surgery, so I was off for like 2 months, 3 months. But what I know for certain is like I always got back on the mat. Like whenever I'm able to, I always got back on the mat. And that to me is my consistency. So my consistency is not your consistency. So what I would say here is, like never judge yourself. Like always try to get back on the mat and always try to get back to your practice, because there's something there that would create wisdom within you, almost, that would create a connection, like the whole body, mind and soul connection. I felt like I experienced that first before I ever learned yoga. So when I eventually took up teacher's training course, so my master would ask, I met him the first time because I was the only Malay in the batch. So, he would ask, like, why do you want to take up teacher's training course? I was like, I just want to learn about yoga. I just want to know more about yoga. That's all I ever cared about. Like, it was never my intention to teach or anything like that. It was really just a selfish objective for mine. It was just like, I just want to know more. Like, there's something about yoga that really intrigued me. That was my experience. So, yeah. So he took me in, and then that was when I first really properly learned about Surya Namaskar sequences or any sequences whatsoever. But because I have, like a handful years of variety of practices of yoga, it kind of, like, I wouldn't say, it came easy. Like, like it gave me some sort of leverage. Like, I could perform the poses okay. Okay. What did I want to say? So yeah, so okay. So when throughout TTC, when Master was sharing about the yoga philosophies, about the wisdom of yoga, the other side of yoga, other than the physical postures, whenever he shares, I felt like, oh, I experienced this. Like I felt like I experienced yoga first before learning about yoga. And I felt like, me gravitating towards learning more about yoga was just purely because of my consistency on my mat, not knowing anything about yoga, not knowing that there's this whole other side of yoga, and that just kind of like reinforces my faith and belief in the wisdom that yoga can reveal to you as a person. And what it does to you as a person and your life. And it is always, of course, work in progress, and we are just humans, like there's always something to learn. But yoga has become a part of me in as much that I don't think I will ever abandon yoga. I don't think I will ever abandon my practice. Like no matter what, like I will always try and get back on the mat and try and practice. Of course, this is different, based on wherever you are in the journey. Yeah. What else? So yeah, I mean, I felt like I found my answers to what I needed to find back then, and I got out of my misery and I got out almost unscathed. And I really want to almost credit it all to yoga, because I wouldn't have survived without. That's really what I felt. There could be other elements or factors. I was going through a lot of other alternative help as well, but it was yoga that really made me feel connected to something beyond myself, to a power beyond myself. So it was almost like a spiritual connection to me. Yeah, so what else? Yeah, so what else I want to share? Did I miss anything? Okay, yeah, I think, yeah, so that it was more on emotional, spiritual kind of thing for me that led me to, diving further into the proper physical forms and sequences of yoga. And here I am, practicing Ashtanga and, trying to share the art of yoga and wisdom of yoga to as many person as I can, making it a part of my life as much as possible. Because, well, like when Celine mentioned about, like it also means that you have to take on a proper diet, and choose what you eat. That to me is still really work in progress, because being a Malay Muslim and growing up as a Malay Muslim, being a vegetarian or vegan is almost rare and unheard of. So when I learned about it, and like when I understand why a yogi needs to be a vegetarian, it's something that I want to adapt to and I want to apply, but it's a work in progress for me because, yeah, I guess we're all on different phases, different phases.
Yeah, you're all getting there.
Yeah, so that's it.
Anyone have anything to ask Shiken from her sharing? Any questions?
Yeah.
Actually,
Oh, okay, never mind. It's okay. You can go first.
actually, I can see how much she loved the yoga when she explained so much of the beginning part and then everything. So I can really see how much she loved the yoga, especially she on the mat.
Getting on the mat. Yeah.
Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Jaden?
Yes. Okay. So what you said about being vegetarian, yoga, having a healthy diet is a part of yoga.
Right.
Okay, I'm not I don't have anything against vegetarians, so I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
But does that in yoga does a healthy diet mean a vegetarian diet, or does it mean that you can eat anything as long as it's healthy, relatively speaking?
Right.
I will answer shortly and I will pass this question to Silen to
Sure.
talk further. Remember the 8 limbs that we mentioned. So Yama means
The first limb?
The first limb, Yama, is our relationship with anything outside of
Around us,
ourselves,
outside,
our world outside. So under Yama, there is this.
First part of Yama.
The first part of Yama is called Ahimsa,
Yep.
which means non-harming.
Non-violence,
So
yeah.
non-violence, non-harming. So it applies to every thing, in every part of your life. So it can be in the form of words, it can be in the forms of the extreme, it takes extreme as killing another person or killing another creature. So why we must be vegetarian is because the truth is we cannot kill another creation or another being, because that is harming and that would fall under this limb. Also, being a vegetarian will help you progress in your practice. As you can see, yoga poses would involve a lot of bending and twisting, back bending. Removing meat out of it would really help you improve and progress further and makes you a better yoga practitioner. Steven will talk more on that.
Okay, Jaden, I'll just touch up a bit on that. Okay, the question that you asked about, like, is it best to be vegetarian or to just have a healthy diet, right? To put it in a simple context, moderation, right? Moderation is the word that I would use. Moderation in everything is necessary, including the meals that we take. For a human being to lead a good life with proper diet, you don't really need to have consumption of meat unless you have any medical conditions that you require to have it in your system, right? You need it. For example, certain nutritional deficiencies that you cannot actually get from any other food source, then probably it makes sense. Other than that, to lead a healthy, good life, you don't really need to have consumption of meat. Science is proving this, and also even Asian culture, being in the Asian culture, could be any Asian culture, it's a common practice to have vegetarian diet because it promotes a good health. That is a basic idea behind that. Other than that, I would still put the word moderation out there. I wouldn't come and tell anybody that you should do this or you should do that, but anything in moderation is good. Right.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much for the answer. That did answer my question, but I do have another one more question. It's one of curiosity. So yes, in our modern world, it is very easy to come across vegetarian meals. You even have vegetarian replacements of meat-based foods like vegetarian chicken, vegetarian beef, etc.
Mhm.
But how did the ancient yogis stick to a plant-based diet? Because back then, I believe, but like there wasn't a wide variety of vegetarian meals. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
understand.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Right. Okay, Jinan, for example, if you try to trace back to our ancestors or again Asian culture, right? If you go back, consumption of meat usually happens like once a week, because they will be growing their own food, right? They will have their own chickens and goats and all that. And the reason why they even consume that is because the reproduction of these animals, it just grows very fast. It's a very, how to say, very systemic way of living a good life. Economically, they grew everything on their own, and they have to keep it within, like, okay, if you have to have this much of chicken with us, if there's more, then we will have to consume it. Otherwise, it will just breed on and on and on. So it was actually a lot of other things behind that. But when you ask about vegetarian meal, it is the most common meal that we can get since back then. And these days, it has been commercialized way too much because there's demand for it. When there's commercialization, there's a lot of variations, mock meats and all that. But reaching to a vegetarian meal is very easy. You go for a banana leaf meal. I believe in Malaysia, everybody is familiar with banana leaf meal, right? A banana leaf meal, the basic meal is actually a vegetarian meal, and that by itself can satisfy a person's craving for a food, right? Whatever else that you take is an extra, like you take something on a plate and they'll just charge you extra for that, right? But other than that, a basic meal is already a vegetarian meal. And again, this applies to most of the Eastern country. If you can trace back, this is a very common thing. And saying that it is easy to find meal, yes, because there's more demand now, even veganism and all that, it has come here to our culture, so they are catering for that. Yeah, did I answer you, Jaden?
Yes, you did. All right. Thank you so much for the answer.
Yeah, thank you, Jaden.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so I'll ask the audience again.
Let's open
Does
up.
anyone have any questions?
Yeah, actually, I have a question. Can you hear
Okay,
me well?
sure. Yes, we can hear
Alright.
you.
So is there a
It's very
specific?
soft.
Oh, What about now? Is it clear?
Okay. Yeah, it's clear. It's very clear. Thank you.
All right. So is there a specific yoga poses or workouts that improves your joint flexibility, like a starter for calisthenics, if you know? Like,
Right.
do you think asanas is enough, or you may suggest something else? Did I pronounce it right, asanas?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
asana. Yes, you got it right.
All right. Asanas.
Okay.
So,
I'm not sure who's speaking. Is this Abdullah?
it's Abdullah here.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, Abdullah. Thank you so much for asking. Let me just say it out. I hope I got the question right. So you're asking, are there any asanas that can actually help you with uh, joint flexibility? Is it?
Yes, I feel like no, in calisthenics, the most challenging
Yeah.
thing is your shoulders joints or the way how flexible they are. So if there's
Right.
any specific workouts I can improve this thing.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, Abdullah. Thank you for asking again. So for shoulder related stiffness and all that in yoga, what is the easiest thing that you can achieve with the consistent practice is flexibility. Again, you can target your strength, or you can even isolate a specific part of your body to work on that. For example, in your case, you would like to know about shoulder mobility, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there are asanas that you can actually do to improve on that. And it is actually very easy to even access these informations online. But as what Ashikin said just now, you can pick up, but you need to know if the source is the right source for you to like learn from. And if that source is okay, you trust the source, you read reviews and all that, and you think it is going to be helpful, slowly approach these asanas and practice on your own and experience that thing first. If that thing is causing any pain or discomfort, then you have to probably reduce the intensity and try again. You have to keep
Mm-hmm.
on consistently practicing, and it will definitely work. And trust me, there's a lot of information out there on internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And with flexibility, it doesn't come immediately.
Yeah.
And it's different for everybody, like and each asana works different for every type of body. Like, like someone can be good or flexible in certain part of the body but not in other areas of the body.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, like, there must be practice and consistency to improve that part. Flexibility is really subjective to every person.
Mm-hmm.
And Abdullah, if for instance, like what Ashikin said, different bodies, right? Some people might have certain limitations on doing a specific asana, but with the right teacher, they can actually give you variations. For the limitations that you have, they might give you variations of that existing asana so that you can have it in a more approachable way. So that's what I'm saying. You can achieve what you are looking for in this practice, but you need to know where you're learning this thing and how the information is reaching you right. Then it's all good.
All right. Yes. Thank you.
All right, Abdullah, thank you so much. Anyone else?
Uh, so how about your story, sir?
Oh, okay, right. I'll keep it short. I think we're already at 3. Let me just share mine. Okay. Right. For me, I started the journey of yoga about a few years ago, about 2 to 3 now, 2 years plus, I guess. Okay. Initially, I was having a very difficult state. Again, like what Ashikin mentioned, it's always the downtrend that where you pick up something to make your life better, right? It was during my university days when I was student as well. I was doing my engineering course, and yeah, again, students' life will always have a lot of ups and downs. You might be struggling with your studies, your relationship with friends, family, partners, and so on. And besides all that struggle, your lifestyle would also be haywire. You might be sleeping late because of studying overnight. The meals that you get might not be healthy. Stress level would be crazy also. So all this was happening, and I was in a very depressive state at that moment. But one thing that kept me going was I was distracting myself with sports, because I was very active with sports. I used to do about 3 to 4 different sports at the same time, and I was very active in my uni that I picked up 2 sports, futsal and also taekwondo. And on one of the occasion where when I was in a tournament, I snapped my ACL and my meniscus, my knee. So I injured my knee, and I was in my last year's first semester. So operation was not an option for me, because if I would have done that, then I have to defer the SAM and I would have dragged and so on. So I didn't want to do that myself. So being the student me, I decided to just manage the pain on my own. So I'll always be on my knee guard, bandage, and all that. But what happened there was I couldn't do the sports that I was doing. There was a lot of limitations, so much of pain. I can't climb stairs comfortably, and because of that, all the sports stopped. So for a person who had a very good metabolism, because I was moving around so much, the moment I stopped my sports and the lifestyle that I was living was not a healthy one, my body weight started increasing. The maximum weight that I've reached personally was 90 kilograms, and now I'm at 70. So it was like crazy difference from where I was. So when I reached that weight, it was progressively happening, and I didn't even notice that thing was happening. And because of the body weight, the pain on my knee became worse. And to compensate for that, I used to like lean on the other side of my body, which started giving me back pain and all that. So it was a very bad timing for me. And again, your confidence goes down because you don't feel comfortable in your own skin, right? You feel like, your body is flabby, you're wearing clothes that are like not comfortable to be around people and things like that. So it was a very again downtrend. And then I started to like think, okay, if this is how it's going to be, I have to do something about it. And I decided to read. So the first thing that I learned was about proper diet. I started reading a lot about diet, what forms of diet that are out there, and what can one do to improve the proper diet, in the proper diet concept. So the first thing that I did was I cut off white sugar. White sugar was something that that's how I embarked in the journey of proper diet. So when I cut off my white sugar consumption, my body weight started reducing. Just for your information, in the process of making sugar, white sugar is the last byproduct that doesn't carry any nutritional value for the body. It is just sweet, and it is also one of the contributors for like fat storing and so on. So when I did that, I don't know if it works for everyone. It did work for me. So in my drinks, I will not take any sweetened drinks. I was sticking to my proper water for every meal that I'm taking. In the food that I consume, I don't take tidbits and biscuits or cakes, whatnot. I was just being in control, but the cravings was very bad for the first 2 to 3 months. After that, it was okay. And after that, I started reading more, and then I came across diets like vegetarian. For an Indian, vegetarian is a very common thing. Yet I didn't look into that in the first place, but I started reading other things. And then when I started reading, the material started hinting back to vegetarianism. So I started practicing that, and again, I started reducing my body weight, and I started feeling much better, but I wasn't picking up any spots just yet. And my body weight started regulated, it went down, and I was in a very comfortable state already. And then life moved on to the next phase. I started working, but then the life moved on, and when you became the adult, you have a lot of other responsibilities where it still gets stressful. So now I wanted to find the balance with sports, but I can't again practice sports because of my knee. I tried jogging, I couldn't. I tried doing like futsal, football. Once again, I still cannot. The impact is bad for my knee. Then I started swimming, but then I realized that I have another injury on my shoulder because of my old sports injuries from my school. So that was also a limitation. And out of nowhere, the advertisement on my Instagram popped up saying there is a yoga studio nearby to my working place. So I just thought, might as well just give it a try because I see people flowing and all that. It looked good. So I went to the studio. I spoke to the person that was there, and I told the person, I have this much of injuries. Do you think I can practice yoga? So this man told me that, okay, try doing these few steps of asanas. I tried, and he said that you look fine. I think you can still practice. So he asked me to come back. So this person is our master, Master SK Durek. So that's how I started yoga. So the first day that I went to yoga, I had this ego. I'm a sportsman, and we have seen people doing yoga, and it looks flawless, right? It looks easy. So I had this ego that what can it be? But after the session on that day, I had so much of soreness that I couldn't climb down the stairs. So that first day, I learned the part where it broke my ego, thinking that you can do things just because you are familiar with other things. It is not like that. And to understand that there is limitations in your body and you can work on it slowly and progressively, it felt good. It really felt good. And the moment that you can actually do things that you want to do, for example, bend or lift up your body and things like that, it just gives you some sort of confidence. And even in scriptures, there's this thing called vyadi. It's a Sanskrit term, vyadi. In Indian language, vyadi means people call it sickness. But in scriptures, vyadi is actually not sickness. It is said immobility is sickness. The moment a person is immobile or they are not moving their body, they are just staying stagnant, that's when all the sickness will be coming to you, right? So the moment you start moving, even biologically, you will have this happy hormones secreting and all that. You just feel good doing it. So I started with that thing, that satisfaction of being able to like be healthy for myself. And while practicing, I started sharing this art because I felt good. And my friends always lean to me when they want to share something that they are struggling with and all that. And I know that yoga helped me. So I started sharing while I was learning. And after some time, my school approached me requesting me to like take up the course so that I can teach more people. But then I felt like I wasn't ready, so I declined that offer. And while practicing, I started having more classes, and I felt like if I want to do this, I have to certify myself properly. So I picked up the teachers training course, same as Ashikin. We finished the course, and once done, I'm officially certified as 200 hours certified instructor. Then I had the freedom to share this art to more people. Like in my case, the moment I decided to change my lifestyle so that I can lead a good one, it led me to yoga. So which I believe that every time you feel like you need to do something for yourself and you make the first step, it will take you to the next one, the next one, next one, and it will reach the point that will always give you what you wanted. So my personal experience with yoga gave me the satisfaction of understanding myself, which led to better perspectives, how to manage my stress. And what is more happy for me in this part is to be able to share this with others and see that they can see their true potential. So I think that is all from my end about yoga and my personal journey. Thank you. Anything that you guys want to ask, you can go ahead.
Right, if anyone has any questions, now would be the time to ask. All right, I guess you guys can move on to the next slide now. It's already 3:10.
That's going to be a break.
Okay, yeah. I think you can jump into this first, and then we can.
Okay. So before we do the actual physical practice today, I'm just gonna share about how to practice yoga. There's so much of information online nowadays, so much of resources, so much of IG pages or anything. So how and where do you start? I think I've shared this briefly earlier on my recommendation. Always go to a proper yoga school and stick or not stick to a teacher like a proper yoga school, yoga teachers. So fitness centers is an option, but you know you, from my personal experience, you will just end up absorbing everything and not having mastery. So that's a that's a that's a weakness lah. So of course you can also follow YouTube or fitness websites, but I personally would recommend that you go to a proper yoga school, a yoga teacher, because they will better understand your body limitation, what you need, and how to approach you and what variation to give you if you can't do certain poses. Because as I mentioned, we both mentioned earlier that every body is different. Regardless of your size, regardless of your shape,
any situations that you are in.
Yeah, it really is different for everybody, and a good yoga teacher would understand this better and give you, the asanas that would help you tune into your ideal body and eventually,
whatever that you're seeking for, basically. Yoga has the answer.
Yeah.
Right. So
Next is
let's practice together. But I think
the physical practice. We're gonna have a break first, right?
Yeah.
So it's 3:10 now.
Yeah, Jaden. Oh, Yasinta. I think we will be having a break.
Yeah. Hi guys. All right. Okay. So thank you, Mr. Ashiki, Mr. Tanasilin, for your wonderful sharing session. So to the audience, we will be having a 10-minute break now. So if you want to, go grab a snack, drink some water, and as I've said earlier, do get your yoga mats ready, and if you haven't already, change into your sports clothes as well. Well,
And
see.
please switch on your cameras later.
Yes.
That is the most important part.
Everyone must switch on camera.
Yes. Please
Yes,
switch on your
please
camera.
do. Please do, guys. We won't force you, but we do highly recommend that
Recommend that.
you do, so that our Miss Ashikin and Mr. Tanasilan can check your forms. Right. With that, our break starts now. Thank you.
Right, thank you. See you guys shortly.
All right.
I had a dream, we were sipping whiskey neat, highest floor of the Bowery, and I was high enough. I've been drowning in love, lost in the rush, faded just stay. I'll help you up. Running red eyes in the night, like a panther out of sight. Gonna sing my battle cry, 'cause I am the unknown, I am the. She don't see how perfect, she don't understand. She's worth it, up that beauty goes deeper than the surface. Oh, oh.
You can put out your hand, you have to balance it. Kaya hindi kayo, balik na kayo mula. Now we will let's take the start. Satu kan kena jelas. Urut buka ini atau urut buka ini. One, two, three, four, five. Ini buka sendiri. Exhale. Have your palms together. From here, look for the right glass. Okay, always. While I'm thinking, okay, drop your feet down. Okay, and balance your legs. Okay, left, right, out, chest, and shoulders drop down. Okay, make it left. Now balance the front of my leg. And look back my elbows. Run straight. Okay, the movement is not to the left. Movement is upward and to the right.
Smoking and inhaling every moment. It was recklessly open. I can see it in your eyes, 'cause they never tell me lies. I can feel that body shake, and the heat between your legs.
If we go down, then we go down together. They'll say you could do anything. They'll say that I was clever.
Monday to Sunday, it's never too late. So everyone say we don't wanna stop. Take it back. I feel it coming, baby. Ain't no wishing. No.
I'ma run up on you. I'ma run up on you.
With your bitch ass.
I'ma run up on you. I'ma run up on you.
Hey, with your fake
I'ma run
ass
up
bitch
on you.
ass. So stay.
She gon' strip it down for a thong, yeah. Water around till she got the buzz, yeah. 5 shots in, she ain't love now. Pull up, shut the club down. Vamos gigantes, que vamos a la tete. Y vamos gigantes. Say yeah, yeah, yeah. Dos, tres.
Yo. Talking in my sleep at night, making myself crazy. Oh yeah. Wrote it down and read it out, hoping it would save me. Wanna keep on twiddling them thumbs, let it just come down. Don't act like you know me, like you know me, nah, yeah.
They know what is what, but they don't know what is what. They just strut. What the fuck?
I wanna follow where she goes. I think about it and she knows it.
I'm without no woman. You're by my side and we got smoke in our mind.
I'm on my way, driving at 90. Talking everything that I'm just about to figure it out without
You
you.
got a fetish for my love. I push you and you come right
Have a good time. Have a good time.
You know, young rich nigga. You got a whole lot of new money though.
It's looking like it been dipped. Dipping that. Script looking like it been flipped. Dipping that. Pull up in that for my car. Whole squad getting that. Please say it ain't true. I had to go and cop to her. Now we can't fit that.
You're taking up a fraction of my mind. You're giving me that good shit, but make me not good, like good shit.
Oh, nah, just be careful, nah. Love ain't simple, nah. Promise me no promises. Darling, just hold on. Purpose, kissing strangers. Hey,
what, but they don't know what is what. They just strut. What the fuck?
I wanna follow where she goes. I think about it and she knows it.
I'm without no warning. You're by my side and we got smoking out of mine. I'm on my way. Driving at 90. Talking every day, I'm just about to figure it out without you. Got a fetish for my love. I push you and you come right
Have a good time. Have a good time.
Yo, young rich nigga. You got a whole lot of new money though.
Face looking like it been dipped. Dipping that. Script looking like it been flipped. Dripping that. Pull up in that for my car. Whole squad getting that. Please say it ain't true. I had to go and cop to her. Now we can't fit that.
You're taking up a fraction of my mind. Giving me that good shit. Let me know that good shit.
Oh, nah, just be careful, nah. Love ain't simple, nah. Promise me no promises. Darling, just hold on. Purpose. Kissing strangers. Purpose. Kissing strangers. Alright. Alright. Darling, just hold
Wanna keep on twiddling them thumbs, till the dust come down. Nah, yeah. Don't act like you know me, Nah, yeah.
They know what is what, but they don't know what is what. They just strut. What the fuck?
I wanna follow where she goes. I think about it and she knows it.
I'm without no warning. You're by my side and we got smoking out of mine. I'm on my way. Driving at 90. Talking every day, I'm just about to figure it out without you. Got a fetish for my love. I push you and you come right
Have a good time. Have a good time.
You know, young rich nigga. You got a whole lot of new money though.
Face looking like it been dipped. Dipping that. Script looking like it been flipped. Dripping that. Pull up in that for my car. Whole squad getting that. Please say it ain't true. I had to go and cop to her. Now we can't fit that.
You're taking up a fraction of my mind. Giving me that good shit. Let me know that good shit.
Oh, nah, just be careful, nah. Love ain't simple, nah. Promise me no promises. mood on. Purpose, kissing strangers. Purpose, kissing strangers. Alright. Alright.
Hi guys, I'm sorry. We still have to wait because they have to do some decision and then they change their dress to do the yoga poses. So thank you for your patience, but still a bit you have to wait. Sorry.
Sandhya, do let us know when we can start, yeah?
Sir, can you start now?
Yes, we can. We are ready.
Okay.
Okay. All right, everyone, our break is over. I hope 10 minutes was enough for you all to rest and relax a little bit. And also, I hope you guys are ready with your yoga mats as we will be starting our next session in a couple of seconds. But before that, do turn on your cameras, please, so our yoga masters will, it would be easier for them to check on your forms and correct you if you're doing it wrong or right. Right? So turn on your cameras and I'll pass it to Ms. Shikin and Mr. Tanasilin. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much.
Yes, please do turn on your cameras, guys. There's no need to be shy.
Right. Okay, can you guys see me completely? Can you see the map?
Yep, we can see you.
Right.
Yeah, we can see.
Right, guys. Kindly turn on your cameras so that we can all practice together.
Go on, no need to be shy. No, you won't be
Yeah.
judged here. Don't worry.
Trust me, everybody will be busy on their own mat.
Yeah,
Nobody's-
exactly.
Right. Wait for another minute or two.
Sure.
Five, I guess. Okay. Do you think you guys can start now, Jadid?
Yeah. You guys may start anyway.
Right.
To
Yes, please.
participants, yeah. Do turn on your cameras, please. Thank you.
Okay. I think we will start now. Is our line breaking?
Nope, you guys
Our line
can
is
hear you guys loud and clear.
Okay. How's the video?
Yep, all good too.
Right.
Everything's
Okay.
clear.
So we will start with Power Muktasana. Power Muktasana is a joint exercise routine that you can try before you do any sort of exercise or you want to start your day, you can start with this. It is not necessarily for you to do this before you start your practice of yoga. Okay, we will do together. I will also give the instruction. Try to follow as much as you can. And if you have any questions, you can stop us and ask. Right? Sit comfortably on your mat. Extend your legs to the front. Keep your feet close together. Place your palms at the side of your head. Keep your spine straight. From here, inhale, point your toes forward. Exhale, point the toes back to your chest. Inhale, point your toes forward. Exhale, point it back to your chest. Now from here, push your feet forward, inhale, and exhale, point it back to your chest. Again, inhale, feet forward, exhale, bring it back to your chest. Now bring your feet slightly apart, point the toes at each other, ankle rotation. Outward. Now the other way around, opposite direction. Now stop, bring your feet close together. Place your hands on your knees, point the toes to your chest. From here, inhale, engage your kneecap. Exhale, relax. Again, inhale, engage your kneecap. Exhale, relax. Now bend your right leg. Interlock fingers under your knee. Keep your spine straight. Inhale up. Exhale, cross. Inhale up. Exhale to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, cross. Now place your right leg onto your left thigh. Use your right hand to press your right knee down as much as you can. Exhale, bring it close to your chest. Inhale down. Exhale, close to your chest. Now make a circle with your knee, clockwise. Anti-clockwise, the other way around. Now stop and extend the leg forward. Do the same thing on the other side. When the left leg interlocks, spine straight. Inhale up. Exhale, cross. Inhale up. Exhale to the left side. Inhale up. Exhale, cross. Now left leg onto your right thigh. Use your left hand to press your left knee down. Exhale, back to your chest. Inhale down. Exhale, back to your chest. Now rotation clockwise. The other way around. Now stop and extend the legs forward. Now bring the soles of your feet together, pull it in close, keep your spine straight, up and down. Known as Tittalidasana, butterfly. Now stop, place your hands on your thighs. Inhale, press your thigh down as much as you can. Exhale, relax. Again, inhale, press. Exhale, relax. Extend it forward, right lower left leg. Pull it into. Now from here, inhale, bring your hands up to the front.
Sir, can you give me 2 minutes? I want to join. Just 2 minutes. Okay.
Okay. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, all the way down. Inhale, up once again. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Now cover your thumb with the rest of your fingers. Rotation clockwise. The other way around. Now stop. Place your hands on your shoulders. Align your shoulders and your elbow in a straight line. From here, squeeze and open up. Inhale, resist and open up. Stretch your palms wide. Exhale, close back with resistance. Squeeze and bring back. Now bring your elbows together. Inhale, upward rotation to the back. Interlock, chest open, look up. Exhale, follow through downwards and touch. Now the other way around, downward up. Inhale to the back. Interlock, chest open, look up. Exhale, follow through upwards and touch. Now release. Now do for your neck. Inhale, tilt your head up. Exhale, bring your chin to your chest. Inhale, bring it back to the center. Now exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Now tilt your head to the right. To the center. Tilt your head to the left. To the center. Now rotation clockwise. The other way around. Bring it back to the center. Now we will do eye exercise. Interlock fingers in front of your eyes. Bring your thumbs out like this. Do not move your head. Keep your head fixed in the same position. Your eyes will be following wherever your thumb is moving. Inhale up. Keep on looking at your thumb. Do not move your head. Exhale all the way down. Inhale to the center. Now to the right. To the center. to the left, to the center. Now make a circle clockwise. Again, do not move your head. Your eyes follow the thumb.
Yes.
The other way around. Bring it back to the center. Inhale. As you exhale, bring the thumb to the tip of your nose and touch. Keep on breathing. Keep on looking at your thumb. Do not close your eyes. It has to be a soft inhale. Inhale to the center. Turn your palms the other way around. Inhale. As you exhale, place the thumb at the space in between your eyebrows. Look up to your thumb. Breathe calmly. Don't close your eyes. Again, soft gaze. Inhale, bring it back to the center. Release. Relax. Okay, we have completed the Power Muktasana series. Once we are done, now we will move into Hatha Yoga Surya Namaskar, sun salutation. So let's do it together. Come to a standing position to the front of your mat. Keep your feet slightly apart. Try to align your feet with your hip. Now from here, Namaskar, inhale up. Exhale, bring it to your chest. Inhale, sideways up once again. Exhale, bring it to your chest. Bend forward all the way down. Now bring the right leg to the back as far as possible. Right knee down, right feet flat. Inhale, open up. Ashwat Sanchalasana. Exhale, bring your palms down. Left leg to the back. Tuck your toes, come up. Parvatasana, mountain posture. Now from here, bring your knee down, chest down, chin down. From here, Bhujangasana, inhale. Exhale, slowly go back, sit on your heels, bring your forehead down. Inhale up, arch your back, look up. Cat posture, Majrigasana. Tuck your toes, come up. Parvatasana once again. Now we breathe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring your right leg to the front as far as possible. Left knee down, left feet flat. Inhale, open up. Exhale, bring your palms down, left leg forward. Come to standing position, Namaskar, inhale up. Exhale all the way down. The same thing on the left side. Now left leg to the back, left knee down, left feet flat. Inhale, open up. Exhale, bring your palms down, right leg to the back, go to mountain posture. Now from here, bring your knee, chest, chin down. Bhujangasana, inhale. Shashangasana, exhale. Inhale up. Majriyasana, arch your back, look up. Exhale, tuck your toes, Parvatasana, mountain posture. Breathe once again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left leg to the front, right knee down, right feet flat. Inhale, open up. Exhale, bring your palms down, right leg to the front. Namaskar, inhale up. Exhale all the way down. You do the same thing, second round. Right leg to the back, knee down, feet flat. Inhale, open up. Exhale, palms down, go to Parvatasana. From here, knee, chest, chin down. This is known as Ashtangasana. Bhujangasana. Exhale, Shashangasana. Inhale up. Majriyasana. Exhale, Parvatasana. Again, 5 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right leg to the front. Left knee down, left feet flat. Inhale, open up. Exhale, palms down. Left leg forward. Namaskar, inhale up. Now left leg to the back. Inhale, open up. Exhale, palms down. Right leg to the back. Go to Parvatasana. Now from here, bring your knee, chest, chin down. Bhujangasana, inhale. Shashangasana, exhale. Inhale up, Majriyasana. Exhale, Parvatasana. Breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left leg to the front. Right knee down, right feet flat. Inhale, open up, look up. Exhale, palms down. Right leg to the front. Inhale up, last round. Exhale all the way down. Right leg to the back, open up. Exhale, go to Parvatasana, mountain posture. Go into Ashtangasana, Bhujangasana, Shashangasana, Madhyasana, Parvatasana. Right leg to the front, open up. Exhale, palms down, left leg forward. Inhale up. Exhale down, left leg to the back, open up. Look up. Exhale, Parvatasana. Go to mountain posture once again. Knee touching down. Bhujangasana, Shashangasana, Madhyasana, Parvatasana. Now bring your left leg to the front. Inhale, open up. Exhale, palms down, right leg forward. Namaskar, inhale up. Exhale to your chest. Inhale, sideways up. Exhale to your chest. Now release, relax. Okay, what we just did is known as Hatha Yoga Surya Namaskaram, also known as sun salutation. We did 3 rounds, and if you are practicing on your own and you remember the steps, go to 5 rounds if possible. And again, you can do it in a very slow pace if you're finding it challenging. I think some of you might have remembered the steps or recorded. If you find it hard and you have any specific pain or something, do let us know. You can reach out to us to our Instagram or something. Other than that, do you guys have any questions so far?
It's look very easy, but when do that, I think I just want to say, sir, stop, sir, please, sir, something like that. Sir,
But I saw you completed it. That's good.
oh, thank you, but sometimes
Any questions?
Yeah, actually, I didn't see that coming. That was pretty nice and intensive, surprisingly.
Right.
That's nice. I discovered there's new muscles I didn't know about before. That's nice.
Happens all the time. New discovery.
is that all, or have any other?
Okay, what we just did is the Surya Namaskaram. Now we have actually planned to share with all of you 5 asanas, which means 5 physical postures that we can try together. But again, guys, it would be best if you guys can on your cameras so that we can see all of you.
Is this everyone that on? So
I think this is the one that we can see. Yeah. Yeah, that's all. Okay, I think we will just move into the asanas that we want to share. Again, if you guys can switch on your cameras, we can see your alignments and it'll be easy for us to assist you to adjust. Right. Okay, let's start. Let me see if I can. I think we won't be sharing the screen. If we share the screen, they can't see as well.
yeah.
Okay. We will be sharing 5 asanas. I'll be sharing 2 from my side, and Shikin will be sharing another 3 asanas. And the first one, we will be learning on how to understand balance. If balance in your physical body is achieved, then the balance in your mind can be also achieved. This is the basic idea when we are practicing yoga. So the first asana is known as Vrikshasana. Vrikshasana means tree posture. Poko, okay, tree posture. So I'll do it on the mat and I'll give the instructions while I'm doing it. You can practice together. If you have questions, stop and ask. Okay, let's do it together. Okay, right. So first, from a standing position, okay, try to ground your feet as comfortable as possible. Stretch your feet wide. Anybody that is also in front of the screen can stand up and try this. You don't need a mat for this. You can do it on the floor as well. Okay. So just stretch your feet wide apart. Keep it comfortable. Now, what you will do is place your hands at the side of your hip. Try to place your feet at your calf, right beside your calf. Now, while standing in this position, try to balance yourself for a bit, about 5 counts. Just try to stand in this comfortable position for 5 counts. If you think after 5 counts, you feel comfortable, hold your feet and pull your leg up as close as possible to your thigh. Now, park it there again, go into standing position. Try to find your balance. Okay, take your time, find your balance. If you are struggling with your balance, you can put out your hand to get a balance once again, but other than that, keep it at your hip. Okay, now from here, bring your hands together, bring your palms together to your chest. Again, slowly find your balance. If you feel comfortable in this position, slowly inhale, bring your palms up straight. Now find your balance once again. Another 5 counts. After 5 counts, slowly tilt your head up. Tilt your head up and find your balance. Slowly. Tilting the head up will always be challenging. Take your time. After 5 counts, slowly bring your hands down and then release your leg.
So it always helps when finding balance. Just find one spot that you can gaze towards. This will help you finding that balance that will center you in position like that.
Okay, so now that you have done it on the right side, now you'll try the same thing on the left side. Take it at the calf. For 5 counts, try to find your balance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now pull it up, park it at the side of your thighs, inner thigh. Find your balance. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring your hands together, bring your palms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly bring your hands up straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now slowly tilt your head up, look up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now bring your palms to your chest. Bring it to your hip. Release, relax. Okay, some of you might be able to stand in this position to understand the balance. Now I'll give you one small tweak to test you. What you can do now is, again go into the posture. Okay. Bring your palms up or to your chest, doesn't matter, either way. From here, try to close your eyes and then find your balance. Try to close your eyes and find your balance. Take your time. 5 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now bring your palms up. Keep your eyes closed and find your balance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now release, relax. Okay, very good. Right. Normally, why do we test with closing our eyes or tilting our head up? And some of you might have noticed when you tilt your head up, you will be struggling a bit to find the balance. Or when you close your eyes, you'll be struggling a bit to find your balance. Why do you find it hard to balance when you lift up? Is because the balance of your body is actually connected. Sorry. Okay. The balance in your body is actually on the part of your ears, right? So the way that you walk, you stay in your daily life is like this, in this position. The moment you tilt your head up to the back, you will lose the usual balance that you have. So for you to lift up, you have to go slowly with a control in your breath. Okay, that is the first thing. Second, why do you lose your balance when you close your eyes? Okay, this is because we as a human being, we perceive the world around us with our 5 senses, right? So the moment you shut one of your senses, you will go haywire. This is why whatever that you do, be observant, listen to things carefully, take your time to process whatever that you're saying. You have to use the senses right, because this is how we perceive things, right? So if you shut off one of these elements, you will straight away lose your balance. It applies to your life as well. Always use this things that you have properly, right? And also scientifically, also biologically, also you've been perceiving depth and distance with your eyes as well. The moment you close that, you will not know how far your body is away from the ground. Are you like leaning to the side, or are you falling? Right? This is why you lose your balance easily. But this comes with practice as well. Other than that, while practicing, if you take your time, look at your toes. What will be balancing your body now is your big toe, right? So whatever that is happening in your balance is mainly contributed by the big toe. Okay, this is a simple sharing from that asana itself. Do you have any questions? Feel free to ask before we move to the second one. Okay, all good? Right, okay, then we'll move to the next one. The next asana is known as Virabhadrasana 3. Okay, there's actually two other variations of Virabhadrasana. Virabhadrasana means warrior posture. Again, this is also a balancing asana. I will again demonstrate, we'll do together. And if you have questions, please ask, all right? Okay. Okay, for Virabhadrasana, the standing position is the same like just now. Keep your feet firmly grounded on the mat, right? From here, now what you will do is, first things first, lift up one side of your leg. Hold on, yeah.
Hi guys, hold on a moment. We are currently experiencing some technical difficulties, so do wait a couple minutes. Thank you for your patience.
Very sorry for the technical issue. We will be actually moving from this spot to another spot because there's another person booked this place. So give us a bit of time, about 2 to 3 minutes. We're moving to another side.
Hey guys, do bear with us a bit more. Our event is almost at an end, so we appreciate your patience. Thank you.
While waiting for them, Abdullah, are you there? Abdullah? I think he's not. Anybody doing behind the camera? You guys never show the yoga poses, but anybody doing behind the camera? Anybody here? No one? Jaden, you want to try in your house after this event?
Yep, I'm
How about
I'm
Sandhya?
definitely trying.
Of course, I'll try.
But honestly, like I tried it before and I honestly I was too much pain to remember what happened after.
You tried
Yeah,
this
since
asanas all?
Yep, I tried it before. How about you? Yeah, yes, you tried it before.
No, I just tried the Surya Namaskaram, but after a long time I'm doing again. I feel tired. When sir teach us, I just want to say like, sir, can you go slow or just sir, please stop or something, because it's so tired when you see so look so easy, but when we do that, I feel like it's difficult to do. It's not easy way. It look easy, but it's not easy actually.
but if you're consistent with it, you'll like get used to it lah. Maybe the
Maybe
first time it's hard and all.
because when I see the flexible person, woman, something like that, they are bend their back, everything.
Mm.
So everything is like when I see them, I feel like I wanna be the flexible one, but actually I never try anything.
All right, yes, you guys are in luck. They are back.
Right. Can you hear us?
Yep, we can hear you guys.
Okay, so I'll just continue with just now, the last asana. Okay, guys, can we start again? Switch on your cameras again, if possible. Right, so the next one is known as Veerabhadra asana, also known as warrior posture. So from the standing position, lift up one of your leg while leaning to the front. Keep your hands together, stretch out. Look forward, extend your legs to the back straight, and hold your position. And then come back down to a standing position. Anyone is trying?
Shall we move to the next asana?
Yeah, you guys may move on if you like. Yes, you're doing really well. Good on you. Yep. Okay, you guys can move on.
Okay, then we'll move on to the next
Yes.
asana. Okay. I think it's seated asana, right? Should be okay. Okay, should be okay.
Okay, so the next one is Padanusthasana. It's called the big toe pose. It's a forward bending. So you stand with your feet slightly apart and use the fingers to catch both of your big toes, like catch it like this. So as you go down, you're gonna like. So first you catch your big toes, right? Then you're gonna take an inhale to extend your spine forward first before moving down. So inhale, exhale. The idea is to let the hip touch the tummy area first before you go even further down. So inhale, exhale, then your elbow is gonna be outward like this.
So as you bend forward, you try to bring your head as close as possible to your knee or your shin. And then after 5 counts, slowly inhale and then come up. Inhale, release.
At all times, you're gonna keep your legs straight in Padanusthasana. Try and keep your legs straight. And extend your spine forward and move down.
Jacinta, are you okay? Are you okay, Jacinta? Looks like you're in pain. Are you okay?
Actually, I'm trying my best.
Okay, good, good. Go for it. Go for it. Keep your knees straight. Just bend forward.
Yeah, keep your legs straight.
Yes.
So before you move down, right, Jacinta, you're just gonna inhale and extend your spine like that. So you get a full step. And slowly move down like that. We'll go to rapid pose.
Okay, Jacinta, are you okay? I think you are the only one that we can engage together who's trying. So if you are okay, then we'll move to the next one. Do you have any questions? That's a thumbs up. Okay, understand. Right. So next we'll move to the next pose.
Rapid pose.
Rabbit pose, also known as Sasangasana. Come to a seated position in a kneeling position. Okay. From there, try to bend your body down and reach out to your feet at the back. At the same time, place your head down to the mat. Okay, from that position, try to stay there and breathe calmly for 5 to 10 counts. Okay. If can, try to lift up your hip higher. Okay, just breathe calmly for 5 to 10 counts. Now, once done, inhale, slowly come up. Release, relax. This is one of the good asanas or good postures for you to focus on your concentration and memory power.
So both Padangusthasana and Sangasana, they can help relieve anxiety and relieve stress. Both also help with any type of menstrual disorder that you may have. In time, it will help improve that. Basically, all forward bending poses is good to calm the mind and ease the stress and anxiety.
Right. Any questions from you guys?
No, everything's fine.
Okay, okay. Then we'll go to the last asana and then we will move to the next one. Okay. Now, the last asana, you will be sitting on your knees, on your heels, just like how Japanese people sit down and eat, right? So from that position, try to stretch your feet or legs to the side. So you'll be sitting on the mat, your legs should be out. Okay. For those who are having knee pain or sharp knee pain, you can avoid doing this asanas. Other than that, you can try. Jacinta, bring your legs closer inside. Yeah. Okay, now from there, hold your elbows together, bring it up of your head. Okay. We will request Ashikin to do it the other way around. Turn your body so that you can see. You will hold your elbows together. And then bring it up above your head. And then breathe calmly. Keep your chest open and just breathe calmly. In 5 to 10 counts. Once done, slowly release your hands, place it at the side of your legs, and then come out of the posture to support your body. Place your hands down and then slowly come out of the posture. And then come to a seated position. Okay. What is asana? Okay. Concentration.
Yeah, okay, so all the asanas that we shared today, they each have different benefits and different benefits to the mind and the body. As we shared about Sangasana and Padangusthasana just now, Virasana also helps to relieve and calm the mind, as well as it helps with the joint flexors of the legs
and toning the legs.
Tree pose, the first one that Ceylon showed, both of us showed, it helps to strengthen your legs and help you improve balance and maintain composure. Also helps you in your focus and your memory in time. Warrior pose obviously helps with
Balance.
and a strengthening of the lower back of your back side of the body. Helps also with focus and balancing. You can practice this asana. It will be beneficial to a student's life.
And yeah, for anyone basically.
And for anyone, yeah, basically. Let's open for a bit of Q&A session.
Yes, let's go for a Q&A session.
All right. So this will be our last Q&A session before the webinar
Who's that?
ends.
Abdullah.
Sule.
Yeah.
Okay, my knee hurts. Your knee hurts on right. Yes, Jaden. Anything?
No, I just wanted to ask the audience if there are any questions to ask. So to the audience, if you guys have any questions to ask, now will be the time. This is our last Q&A session before the webinar ends. Or if you guys feeling a bit shy, you can I dropped our coaches IG accounts to the chat box, so feel free to DM them at any time with any questions you may have.
Yeah, I have a question. Do you have any suggestion for a pain relief? Better. Hello?
Sir,
Yeah. Hi.
can you hear me?
What is that?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, we can.
Yeah, it's lagging a bit. Before end, can you show? No need to teach, but can you show handstand flexible yoga or something like that?
Handstand.
Oh wait,
But can you?
Jacinta, wait, hold on. Yeah,
Okay.
before that, we have a question from Abdullah. I believe his question was how to manage pain relief. Am I correct? Abdullah, if you're there, do let me know.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
correct. Couldn't you hear me before?
Yeah, because sorry, they were lagging.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Never mind.
Abdullah, what was the question again?
His question was how to manage pain relief, I believe. Yeah, that was the question he asked just now.
Pain relief. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
pain relief.
Yeah. Abdullah, first of all, when you ask about pain, right? Can we know? Yeah, it's best for us to know what is the pain. Abdullah. Okay, I think I'll just give a general answer then. How to manage pain, right? First of all, you need to know what is the issue. If it is something that is severe or it's physical injuries or what, then you need to consult the doctors before deciding on how to go about it. Other than that, if there's any sprains or uncomfortable feeling sensations or pull or stretch that is painful, best thing for you to do is first, you have to rest. Second is focus on your breathing. This might sound like a cliche where people say like, focus on your breath. But trust me, when you focus on your breathing and you pay attention to the pain that you're having, it works in the sense of paying all your attention to that part of your body, which will aid and facilitate in the healing process. This is also applied in the guided meditation concepts, where they will allow the students to focus on the healing by themselves with any discomfort in their body. So the general idea is to focus on your breathing and to pay attention to the pain that you're having. Other than that, reach out to the doctors. That is the best. Right.
All right, Abdullah, does
I
that answer your question?
from
Right.
I have a question from my friend. He asked,
Yeah.
he told that how to progress handstand.
Handstand. Okay. Um, progressing handstand is simple because the question is progress, right? So the first thing for you to do is go to a wall. Okay, go to a wall, kick yourself up into the handstand position. Just stay there for at least 10 to 15 counts every day. Okay, rather than thinking about going into the handstand without the wall, go to the wall, kick up, stay there for 10 to 15 counts every day. If you can go for more than 15 counts, it's best. Try to do this on a regular basis. Why will you have to do this? Is because you are standing on your legs all this while, right? So your hands are actually not taking any weight of your body. But in handstand, you're expecting your hands to take the whole body weight, right? For you to get into that state, you need to focus more on spending time like that, upside down, with your whole body weight being supported by your hands. The more you do that, the easier you get into the posture.
I hope he got answer.
I can demonstrate to you here, but let's see if I can find the wall.
Yeah, Mr. Tanasilan, I think it's okay. It's going to be 4:15.
There is
Santia,
no wall around me for me to show
yeah.
you, but I think you get the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To
we get the idea.
So I'll just reiterate again, if you guys have any questions, once again, their IG usernames are in the chat, so feel free to DM them anytime. So I'll ask again, are there any more questions from the audience? Going once, going twice. Okay, I believe we can end the webinar. Santia, I pass the floor to you.
All right. With that, our webinar comes to an end. I would like to extend a big thank you to all of you who took time of your day to attend our webinar, and I would also like to express my gratitude towards Ms. Ashikin and Mr. Tanasilin for working with my group to be the speakers of this webinar and to raise awareness about the beauty of yoga as an art and also its benefits. Lastly, I'd like to thank my group members for working together to put together this whole webinar. We hope that having attended this webinar, some of you may take up yoga classes after this, or at the very least have come to appreciate it. Thank you.
Sir, just now you told something, but I can't hear what is that. So, wanna continue?
Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just said thank you so much for giving us the chance to share this art with all of you. Should you guys have any questions regarding yoga, if you have concerns or you have difficulties to answer certain things for yourself, feel free to reach out to us. We have shared our Instagram ID. You guys can DM us anytime. Right, and thank you so much for your whole team for arranging this thing. You guys did pretty well. Thank you so much.
No problem. It was our pleasure.
It was really interesting.
Because
Really appreciate it.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
and
we are
hold on, yes.
we are really appreciated that Sir and Miss Ashikin give a time to us and then teach us how the yoga poses and then explain how the yoga changed the life and everything. So I really want to be like a Miss Ashikin when I'm on mat. I will be like a person who like grateful and everything. So thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Also, Miss Ashkin, Mr. Tanasilan, you guys may leave first. To the audience, before you guys leave, I've posted a link in the chat. It is a feedback form, so do fill it up before you guys exit the meeting room. You'll be dearly appreciated. All right, so thank you everyone so much for joining our webinar. And as Santya said, we do hope that with this webinar, you guys have developed a deeper appreciation for the art of yoga. Right. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.
I'll follow you on Instagram.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, audience. Have a nice day. I hope everyone get something good. Thank you, thank you. Soon end the meeting. I mean, end the recording session.